Hi, I'm Walla Walla Public School Superintendent Mick Miller, and welcome to The Pulse. Hey, it's November. It's getting a little more chilly outside. Winter sports are just around the corner as we wrap up our fall sports. Today I'm at Pioneer Middle School, home of the 49ers. Over 700 6th, 7th, and 8th graders roam the halls of this wonderful school. Today we're going to talk with Principal Mira Gobel, Assistant Principal Jack Mehn, Teacher Dan Calzaretta, and ASB President Miguel Baza. Welcome to Pioneer and welcome to The Pulse. I'm here with Mira Gobel, principal at Pioneer Middle School. Mira, about 20 years ago, you started your career as a teacher at Pioneer. You took some time at the high school. Now you're back as principal.
Yes.
What was the transition like coming back?
Well, I've been telling everybody it's been a homecoming for me. I started my teaching career here at Pioneer, actually '88, and I was here for 11 years.
Okay.
And I loved every minute of it. I loved being middle school teacher, but I wanted to try something different. So I went to the high school, and I was there for actually 12 years. And some of that 8 years was it as an admin, but I'm so glad that I bring that perspective back. It's been an amazing transition. I would say last year, and I was telling people that it was probably my top 5 best years in my teaching career.
That's great. Well,
educational career.
You had a terrific year last year. It was a wonderful year at Pioneer. And it was the second year of the AVID program. Now it's the third year. And you bring that high school perspective and beyond. What's AVID and how are you working at Pioneer?
Well, I tell you, AVID is one of those, I think it really hits my core of what we need to be focusing on, educating kids for beyond school years, really getting them to think about their future. And I think AVID is one that it could really change the cycle of not only the student's life, but for their family. And so our middle school advocates are amazing. And having the high school perspective, I can actually bring that in. For an example, last year, our big field trip for advocates was to the high school. They spent an entire day with shadowing a senior advocate, and that they came back and said that was one of the best days. So they actually sat in on AP classes at the high school, and so they're ready. They're going to be ready when they start High, next fall.
That's great. Now, middle school kids. Talk about middle school. For the people that are watching this, they may forget what their kids were like in middle school. You live with them every day.
I do. The biggest aha for me is that I have forgotten when I came back last year. I went home to my husband and I told him, I get hugged on every day. And that I have forgotten that house, they still are, their walls are thinner. And they still want to hug on you. And so, in fact, I go to the grocery store and they chase me down the aisle, Mrs. Gobel, meet my mom. And that just didn't happen at the high school. So that's been a delight for me. And they are funny. You can still joke with them, but it doesn't take much for them to they still want to please you. So it's really easy to make connections. I think they're just, was fun 3 years.
Great.
So, yeah.
Great. Thanks, Mira, very
You're
much.
You're welcome.
Dan Calzaretta is in his 5th year teaching here at Pioneer Middle School.
Right.
And Dan, last spring, you applied for a grant to get some iPads.
That's right.
You got the grant. How are you using it?
Well, it's amazing, the transformation that's happened in the classroom. First off, I have not given out one photocopy in class at all this year. Pretty much a paperless classroom, except the stuff that comes from the district.
And we sent.
Exactly right. But other than that, we're doing everything on the iPads, note-taking on the iPads, research on the iPads. We're just starting our documentary project and our film project. All the documentaries will be made completely with the iPad. Research, writing letters, contacting people, filming on the iPads, and editing, and then finally uploading even to the festival website. So we get to do all that on the iPads.
And kids are pretty proficient with that.
Well, most of them come in with at least some understanding of how to use a device like that.
Right.
And so they're teaching me more about how the iPads work. If there's a new app, we have a system for them to recommend a new app. They, once a week or twice a week, kids will say, hey, I found out a new way to do something. I can split the keyboards. I can move it around on the screen, and we can do all these different things. And they teach each other. So I'm learning more about the iPads from them than they're learning from me, for sure.
Very cool. 21st century learning in Dan Calzaretta's classroom.
That's right.
Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm here with Jack Mehn, who's in his 4th year as assistant principal here at Pioneer, following a career at Walla as a dean of students and a head girls basketball coach. Jack, one of the things you did at Pioneer is begin the WEBS program. What's WEBS? What do you do?
Yeah, and I actually didn't start the WEBS program here. That was more Judy Anderson and David Tegmeyer, who started that. They're our counselors
Right.
here. They started a PALS program, and then it kind of blossomed into WEBs. And I've come on board, and now we have 6 web coordinators. WEB stands for Where Everybody Belongs, and it is a part of the Boomerang Project. It helps with 5th graders transitioning to middle school.
Great. And what kind of activities do they do?
All kinds of activities during the course of the year. We started off with a big orientation before school even begins, welcoming them here. And then we train our web leaders, who are 8th grade students, to go out and work with the incoming 6th graders. And hats off to all of our web leaders who do that. 8th graders, they give up probably about 10 hours in the summer to be trained when they don't have to be here. And then we put them through a pretty rigorous training session, and then they go, when all the 6th graders come here, they go in and they help them with, they kind of serve as a big brother, big sister to help them with that transition.
And are you seeing positives from that?
Yeah, it's WEBs and the Link program. It's in over 44 different states. It's in Thailand, it's in Canada. I think there's over 10,000 educators who've been trained as a web leader, and it really works. One thing we've noticed here, and the statistics back it up nationally, is that our referrals are down for 6th graders. The last couple of years when we've started to track it, the referrals for discipline issues have been lowest in the 6th grade class. Their attendance has been better, their grades have been better, and which tells me they're having a lot of success here. And kind of some of the stuff we're really starting to grow, I think, as a web program. We're starting to do web alerts now, so that if a 6th grader, we just did one about a couple weeks ago, so that if a 6th grader is starting to struggle, we have these little cards, and we give the cards to one of our web leaders, and they go out and find them before school, after school, at lunch, and just kind of talk with them. How's it going? It sounds like you're struggling a little bit. How can I help you with that? We also do some academic follow-ups with them, some social follow-ups. We're going to have another event coming up here, Halloween, where our 6th graders were the leading class in terms of fundraising for the school. So they're going to get a reward, but we're going to kind of combine that with our web leaders. So it's going to be kind of a touch-in day with our web leaders, with our 6th graders. And the other thing too, I think we've done this year is we're putting them in so that they're following them throughout the course of the year. So we have 2 or 3 web leaders that are following 7 or 8 6th grade students, and always checking in with them, and always serving as a big brother, big sister during the course of the year. And so that will be part of the thing. And so, Halloween will have our 6th graders dress up our web leaders, and just spend some time with them. And we're also going to do some journaling pieces, like ask the 6th graders from our web leaders, what's been the best thing about coming to Pioneer? What was something that maybe you wish we would have told you about coming into Pioneer Middle School that we didn't at the time? And just ask them a bunch of questions, and just touch base with them to help make that transition better.
Terrific. You can see WEBs really makes a difference at Pioneer, and they're starting it this year at Garrison as well. Jack, thank you very much.
You bet. All right.
I'm so happy to be here with ASB President Miguel Baza. Miguel, thanks for joining me. Hey, you're ASB President, congratulations.
Thank you.
Also, you're a WEBs leader. What do you like about the WEBs program?
What I like about the WEBs program is that I became a WEBs leader because I wanted to help the 6th grader feel welcome to a school they've never been into.
Yeah.
Because I know when I was a 6th grader, I wouldn't feel very comfortable coming here.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger than elementary school.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
a lot bigger.
What kind of activities are you involved with here at Pioneer?
The activities I'm involved in are football, basketball, soccer, and track.
Right.
Yeah.
You're a pretty good soccer player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of the sport. Hey, you're heading off to Walla next year.
Yes.
What kind of things are you looking forward to in high school?
What I'm looking forward is probably the sports most of all, because I love playing sports, and I guess the learning. I want to get the AP classes.
Good. Yeah. You're in the AVID program. You're going to get ready for those AP classes. And then you were telling me as we were talking about you want to go to college, but you're not sure what.
Yeah.
What do you want to do when you're in college?
When I get in college, I want to play a sport. Hope I get to pro. But if I don't, I just want to do whatever it leads me to.
Good. You're going to study whatever it leads to. That's a great answer. We'd love to have everybody moving on to college to study whatever they want. So Miguel, thank you very much. Thanks, Miguel. Also, thanks to Jack Mehn, Mira, Gobel, and Dan Calzaretta. It's really a joy being at Pioneer Middle School. This is a great place for kids and a great place to learn. Hey, as we wrap up the Pulse this week, I want to show you a couple quick things. First of all, if you're a parent or a student in the Walla Walla Public Schools and you have a smartphone or you have a tablet, there's an app that you can download from the Apple Store or for the Droid Store for Skyward that you can get up-to-date, real-time school information. Please download that app so you can communicate with your kids' schools on a daily basis. We want you to have that Skyward app. Also, please be watching our website, wallawallapublicschools.org, and please watch the Week in Review to get information regarding upcoming facilities bond information. The board is making a decision in November as to whether we will be running a bond to modernize our high schools. So please be watching for that. Also, we mentioned earlier that winter's coming. Winter is coming, which means we might have some inclement weather, some days when it's icy or snowy, and we've got to back up the school day. Be listening for our One Call Now notifications. Watch your morning news on those days when weather is a problem and we might have to either delay school or cancel school. We'll only do that if we absolutely have to. Again, thank you so much for watching The Pulse today. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.